Third period comeback once again falls short for the San Jose Sharks against the Anaheim Ducks. We'll break this one down, give some kudos, and give some oofs to some of the guys as we get closer and closer to the regular season. Right now, this is Teal Town After Dark. Good evening, everyone. October 1st, 2025. Yes, someone wake up Green Day because September has ended and hockey is around the corner. Welcome to this edition of Teal Town After Dark, your live interactive Sharks post-game show. If you want to be part of the show, chat with us and fellow hockey fans all over the world and in Sharks territory on the YouTube page or the app. If you are watching us on the replay, hit us up in the comment section after the game. And hey, follow us on the social. Find everything at tealtownusa.com. And if you want to support the show, please do so on Venmo at tealtownusa or hit us up on a YouTube super chat if you are watching us live. It is myself. It is Tyler. It is another loss to the Anaheim Ducks in the preseason. But not everything was duplicate of the two games in 3 nights.
No, there was quite a bit different from last game to this game. Everything from the lineup being completely different to the results.
Yeah, definitely had seen some similarities, of course. You know, 3 goals in 6 minutes 46 seconds on 3 consecutive shots. That's frustrating to see, but some good perseverance by the team in the third. Let's just break it on down here. No scoring in the first period. There really wasn't much that happened there. You had some penalties back and forth, but nothing of the significance. Both teams, I believe, were 0 for 1 on the power play. Hellison had drawn a holding call against Eklund. Skinner had tripped up Leo Carlson. And then things started to escalate a little bit later on as the Ducks went on a scoring spree. Like, as we said, in a little over 7 minutes of time, you have Beckett Seneca at 109, Sam Colangelo, 638, Cutter Gauthier, who made Orlov look silly, made it 3-0, and it was a little bit scary there, Tyler, because it's like, ooh, that's his D pair is something we're going to be watching come next Thursday.
Oh, absolutely. I know that there's been several additions that the Sharks have made in the offseason that, fairly highly touted. We had the top line of Letty Klingberg, who they had some of their own issues, but they were able to keep it together for most of the game. But I think probably one of the biggest adds was Orlov and where he places alongside, whomever. And today he lined up next to Mook Madulin, and that line really struggled today.
Yeah, they were, a -3?
When it was 3-0, they were -3, yes.
Hey.
I believe they ended the game at a -2.
Well, they made up for themselves, I guess. Not exactly the best start for the team in the middle frame. I'm getting flashbacks to second period nightmares over and over again going onward. Let's take a look at the chat before we continue on. Marty T, I'm ready to be done with preseason. Aren't we all? Hank Vesuvius, vibes aren't going to last long if they look like this bad. Look this bad through the first 20 games. Yeah, and you're also missing Macklin Celebrini, who is close, very close, very, very, very close.
Yeah, we're hearing some weird kind of almost mixed messages about what's happening with Celebrini. For the longest time was, there was no injury. It's just, he's not playing right now. And then, there was some mixed reports popping up.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, he's close, day to day kind of stuff. So At this point, I don't really know what to expect. I don't think it's something that's going to extend into the regular season. I think they're just like, why play somebody who's not 100% in the preseason?
Right. I'm looking in the background there. You have cats fighting there,
Yeah,
and it's reminding me of the little tussle that we saw in the third period, kind of with Desharnais, kind of just doing the Ryan Reeves thing from a couple of years ago. I think, or was it Reeves? No, I think it was Dustin Bufflin, with two Vegas Golden Knights during their conference final series. Chris Martin, and I kind of agree with this a little bit. Want to see Misa assert himself more. To me, I didn't notice him that much tonight.
no. Opposed to some of the previous games where, he was just absolutely floating passes into some high danger areas. He was just kind of invisible this game.
Yeah, no shots, -2. Got 17 minutes of ice time this evening. Got to be a little bit better than that for sure. Going into the into the third period, where the Sharks would then get on the board. Uh, William Eklund would find the loose puck as it was about to go in off of a Duck skater to make it 3-1. It's like, okay, nice to pick up the garbage. We learned that from D3, the Mighty Ducks. So
Yeah.
good on you there.
Yeah, that one was a really odd play. I'm not entirely sure exactly what Smith was doing, whether that was just a shot that was slightly wide or if it was meant to be a shot pass. But it headed wide. Trying to remember who was the one that initially was it Eklund that it initially deflected in towards the net, then somehow ended up on the opposite side.
It
It
was off of, it was a Smith had the shot from the point. I
mhm,
want to say it was Toffoli
to
on the
Foley. Okay.
side that got it in there. I'm trying to see if I can pull it up. No, it's not loading up for me. Terrific, wonderful, fabulous. I love it when it does that. But yeah, so that made it 3-1, and uh, then you had the nice steal from for Kurashev, and
Mhm.
then nice pass to go with it to get Skinner the one timer. And it's
Yeah.
like you got some good connectivity there. If that becomes a line, made it 3-2.
I know that that's probably one of the biggest expectations is Skinner's going to be a scorer for us, and I don't know if he's channeling his inner Stamkos or Ovechkin, but he's definitely set up in the office there and had a beautiful shot to put it past. Ooh, who was in net for the Ducks today? Do you remember?
It was. Please hold. I can pull that up because I remembered it off the top of my head when I was saying net protectors. It was Klang. Klang was in
Klang.
net.
That's right, Connor Klang. But no, it was a beautiful rip, and I wouldn't mind seeing that way more. I've seen that done against the Sharks by the people mentioned previously, but it was nice having somebody do that ourselves, and I could certainly see that being a specialty of his on the power play.
Yeah, I mean it's nice to see some scoring in Jeff Skinner. I know we were in the in our Discord for the game. Definitely got some good vibes out of the fan base there because we could use some right now. Ducks would add a couple empty netters, but the Sharks, give them credit, they did have some chances to tie this thing up. Just couldn't capitalize. Just like on Monday against Anaheim in Anaheim, two empty netters. I mean, otherwise you basically have the same score uh, through it. So we'll talk about. Oh, you're about to say something.
Well, I was going to say, let's not discount the fact that there was a little bit of puck luck going the side of Anaheim today. I've lost track about how many posts and crossbars we were managing to hit in that third. That God, uh, was it Eklund that had the one that hit the crossbar and they blew the goal horn for?
Oh, another premature Hornage going
Yeah.
on. Remember,
Um,
only hit the button when the red light goes on, gang. Come on now. Um, yeah, there's that one. Toffoli had a great one near the end of the
mm,
first period. I don't think it hit off the post, but he was left all alone and no dice on that one.
yep. There was a beautiful move made by Eklund towards the end of the game that unfortunately just didn't go in. They were certainly getting opportunities, but while they were getting the conventional opportunities, unfortunately, what they were doing was giving some more unconventional opportunities the other way that the Ducks were able to capitalize on.
Yeah, especially on the second period. That goal, I believe it was the third goal for Anaheim. It was, why can I not pull it up? I think Cutter Gauthier.
Yeah, the
He steals.
Gauthier.
Yeah, he steals a puck off of Orlov. Orlov is just schooled and then didn't get back right away, which is a little
And,
frustrating on my end.
and I gotta mention it. The second goal wasn't too different. That one was a little bit more forgivable. It was not the best pass to him, but bobbled the pass. Did not do a good job of bodying up the guy that was trying to get past him,
Yeah.
and did not really have the foot speed to even really help on the way back.
Yeah, tough one indeed. Let's talk about, as we're talking about Anaheim goals, let's talk about Yaroslav Askarov. 20 saves on 23 shots. Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
most of the goals, yeah, maybe there was more 2-on-1s that were given than just the two that went in. But you know, you do kind of want your goalie to save more of those. But
yeah.
it's preseason. I forgive him so long as when push comes to shove, he's making more saves than not on those.
Right.
Um, the first goal, I don't blame him too much. That was great player, high danger shot chance. That really we should have had the bodies to get there. And then the other two-on-ones, those are tough to deal with as a goalie. And I think he went 2 for 2 on 2-on-2s. I think it's just twos all around.
As long as he's not laying a number two, that's for sure. All right, let's get to comments in the chat and hear your thoughts. Patrick, of course, good to hear you, sir. Ready for games to count? Yep, we got two more to go. Although Seattle's already finished with their preseason, which is crazy already. Bertha's. So I take it we lost. Yes. Ruben, good evening to you, sir. Our good friend, 21 Pucks. Keep this thing keep this going till when I get off of work. I get off of work at 12:30. By the way.
You're gonna have to give us a time zone on that one, bud.
Oh, if I know where he's at, that means 10:30 Pacific time. Oh lordy, I don't think we can do that, my friend. Uh,
It'd be kind of hard to pull that much content out of this game.
oh yeah, Hank Vesuvius asking what the shot count was. Pulling that up for you right now.
It was
Shots
28 to
were
25.
in favor of
28
San Jose.
Sharks, 25 Ducks.
Yep, thank you very much for that. So definitely can you say Gavin McKenna. Oh boy, Marty's just trolling. How dare you, my kid? Primal. I just lost a lot of money to those two last goals from the.
Ooh, starting
Yeah,
the bets early today, are we?
yeah. Ay. The holy game score, Batman. Big Shaq and Orlov suck tonight. Paul Medina with that one. So yeah,
I don't think Mook Madulin was the worst out there. I mean, on the 2-on-2s, he covered his man, but they were both just straight shots. I'm not really sure what you do because as a defender, you're gonna take the pass there. You gotta trust your goalie to make the save, and fortunately, a couple of those they went in.
yep. Tough one to take. Something you got to prove on within the next 7 days, and
Yeah, there's a lot of defensive work that probably needs to go into next few days. Still don't seem to be clicking super well.
yeah. Groundhog's Day from Dank Rowan. The Teal Curtain saying, I know it's preseason, but holy 3 goals on 3 shots was a little unsettling. Yeah, that's a tough one to take in a matter of less than 7 minutes. Something you got to work on a little bit. Hank Vesuvius, and this is one I wanted to get to. Glad to see Reeves wing a couple in his first shift. That first shift was pretty damn impressive from Reeves. He takes the body to 2 Ducks players, gets a slapper on, which caused some offensive chaos that just didn't go in. So nice to see, right, Tyler?
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like exactly what we need from him. It's like we picked him up for a very specific role on the team, and he's showing what that role is. I don't think it was super necessary to do too much of that this game. This is still only preseason, but it was nice to see it.
Yeah. Celebrating 17 _ San Jose. I've seen enough. Dickinson won a spot on this roster. You know,
You will hear no argument from me.
well, let's talk about it before we continue on there. There's going to be some interesting waiver cuts coming up.
Yeah, there's been a couple of discussions like that on the Discord. Exactly who gets cut, we have really no idea, but I've been saying it. I know others have been saying it. Dickinson is not going back to the O. We have at least 8 on the roster. I believe that's not counting Jack Thompson, so we really have 9. So we're going to have to cut at least 2 because
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe they are at 36 going into today after 5 players cleared waivers tonight or earlier today at around 11 o'clock in the morning. Also, I should mention that the Sharks did put Patrick Giles on waivers to get him to the Barracuda. So we'll see. At the same time, Daniil Gushchin also was on waivers to get him to the Colorado Eagles in the Colorado organization. 36 players remain at the Sharks training camp. Bowers, Huntington, LeBurge, Olofsson, and netminder Jacob Skarek cleared waivers and now are off to the Barracuda training camp very shortly. My thing is this is going to be a tough one because you have Delandria, Grunstrom, you throw in Reeves, you throw in Goodrow, and you wonder who's going to be on this roster come October 9th and who's going to be in lineup for that matter.
yeah, I mean, I also know there's been the debate of, whether Colin Graff makes this lineup.
Right.
I know he's still got that last year where he is able to be sent to the CUDA without waivers, but he is another player that he's shown that he probably is NHL ready, but then that means that we'd have to cut somebody else. So does he end up actually making it?
And the same thing with Colin Blackwell, who's definitely shown a lot of jump. I think we saw it on I'm trying to remember the second Golden Knights preseason game on last Friday night. Definitely looked like he was the guy
Cardwell,
to really make the jump. He really made a name for himself, I should say, in his fight to stay with the big club.
Yeah, Cardwell has been a fantastic. I don't want to say addition. I don't really know how to best describe him right now, but he's definitely been showing so much progress, especially compared to last year, just by itself. That he is certainly putting himself in a fantastic position to argue, I don't need to go back to the CUDA.
Paul Medina asking your ideal 6 for defense to both of us. I'm not putting him in any particular order, but I would think Muck, Ferraro. I think Orlov. You don't waive a guy you signed 2 years and gave him a no move clause the first year. I don't think he's gone.
It's
He's not going
really
anywhere.
early. It's really early. I know he's still in that period where he's getting used to, the Sharks system.
Yeah.
I don't think it's early. It's too early to get rid of Orlov. Um,
Yeah, and like what the common people are saying as well, Muck was fine, but he was playing on his offside tonight. So
and that is going to be a routine issue because we have a lot of lefties.
yeah. So
And oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I think if you're asking me my ideal six, I don't really have an ideal six because I think we're going to roll seven. But the two that we're probably cutting, if it were up to me, is I don't see Letty staying. I know we pulled him off waivers, but I don't really know where he fits. And the other one that I can see getting cut is Desjardins.
Yeah, so it's gonna be so tough. I mean, like like you go Ferraro, Orlov, Klingberg, Letty. I mean that's four there, and then you have a toss up between Muck,
Yeah.
Thompson, Dickinson, not
hmm
you know
And I
uh,
mean,
Klingberg for that matter too.
we've really got only four right-handed D that are currently eligible for, or not eligible, but they're on the Sharks at the moment. Um, and I think the weakest link there is going to be Desjardins, so that would probably end up being the cut you'd make there, and then you just have so many lefties
Yeah,
and kind of
Uh, uh,
kind of a compacted 2D position on the left side of. I mean, your top D is probably going to end up being somebody like either Orlov or, um, I guess if we keep him, Letty. But past that, I mean, do you put Dickinson or Mook or, you know,
I just don't know because I'm just looking at the defense right now, and it doesn't include Dickinson at the moment, according to Puckpedia. But you have Orlov, Letty, Klingberg, Ferraro, Liljegren, Desharnais, Mukamadulin. I mean, at least one, maybe two of those might be moved. One right now would probably move to put Dickinson on the team. If not, he's going back to London in the OHL, and I just don't see him doing that.
no.
So that means you got to move two of those guys
And
over to the A, or at least try to get them through. And I don't know if they're going to make it through.
and I know there's been a lot of discussion about what's happening with Ferraro since there's been discussions before of does he get traded, and I can't see that happening before the start of the season.
No,
But if he ends up getting traded, then are we losing a player just to trade somebody later in the season for hopefully I don't know what do you
like
think would be
flip
a
him around.
for Ferraro? A second? I'm not.
I
I
would
don't
think a
know.
second.
I don't know
I
if you
would
can
think
stand a first.
I can't see them paying at first.
No.
I think a second would be pretty solid. Maybe second and maybe a prospect to add in. And I would hope that Greer doesn't do what he has been known to do lately, is to add on to it to try to up the pick, because it really hasn't worked out with him for that, i.e. Kovalenko when part of the Blackwood trade. It's tough, and I see a conflict between our fans on here. The Teal Curtain says peace to Vinny, but Celebrini 17 SJ says Deja is solid though, and Vesuvius 6'7" right hand defenseman is going nowhere. So
And that's the argument you get into is all right. We keep Desjardins. Desjardins. Sorry, I'm not really sure what the correct pronunciation is.
Desharnais is what I've been
Desjardins.
told. Yeah,
Um, do we lose Thompson
yeah,
because he is not waiver eligible or he's not waiver exempt?
right. He has to clear
So
to get to the CUDA if that's the case.
so now you're making the argument. Well, do you keep the older player that is a bit more established and does have the size, or do you lose the younger talent?
Yeah. And it's a risk because who knows?
Oh, I don't think if somebody like Thompson goes to waivers that he's not getting picked up.
Right. And the same on the forwards wise with Afanasev,
Yep.
you know.
That's another tough player that I have a feeling, unfortunately, we're going to lose him.
And I should try.
I,
I'm going to get this right. Afanasev. That's what.
Afanaseyev, yes.
So, yeah, that's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
You know,
Now, the roster cuts coming up in the next week are going to be hard.
yeah.
Expect to see probably a mix of both young and older players that you would expect to see on the roster getting cut.
And you expect to see a lot more desiring competitiveness. I think basically in the bottom six, and for maybe the top six as well to try to finalize that. The key issue here is, will Celebrini get into a game? I mean, we are now close to 3 weeks into training camp, and he's done individual workouts. We've seen him, with Mike Ricci working around. He's been doing individual stuff, but that is it. Granted, he's been staying on the ice, with Will for not for a goodness amount of time. But I definitely want to at least see him get in at least one game before dropping the puck next Thursday.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much him going cold into the season would really hurt the Sharks' abilities. I'd like to hope that he's just, he's holding himself till he's 100%. And if that's what he's doing, I don't blame him at all. But with how little information we have and how close the season is to starting, it is a valid question of, is he going to be going in with cold feet?
Which, for a guy that can't have cold feet, I mean, not bad, but still, it is your superstar, the franchise, whatever you want to call him.
The last thing we can afford is a sophomore slump.
No, it's just the truth. Oh my god.
But
So,
I think the biggest narrative of this game is mixed feelings. There's still, some good aspects of this team. Some lines are clicking, but then others, we definitely are still seeing some of those weaknesses cropping up that we had last year.
yeah. So it's, and I'm looking at who was the one that said it. Dan Moore. There has to be audio of Afanasyev pronouncing his name, but based on the Cyrillic spelling, that can't be right.
You know what? I have somebody that can teach me how it's said. I'll figure that out.
We're going to do this very low technical here. Let's give it a shot.
Igor Afanasyev.
Afanasyev.
That's the official name. They have it in the NHL media site. So there you go.
Got it.
Sorry if we blew out your ears with Igor Afanasyev.
It was actually quite low. Don't worry.
Okay. So let's see. Felix, good to see you, bud, in the chat. I think I saw Celebrini's confident he's at least getting a game in. That's good. Hank Vesuvius saying ASCII looked okay, not great. Celebrini's 17 saying ASCII is not trying. Or maybe he's bored and wants to get to the regular season like we all do.
Well, we don't really know. Obviously, we've seen Askarov play in the AHL, and I can't say that I saw the same effort as I've seen in some of the other games. So there may be some truth to that. It's not like he's fighting for his place on the team. But as a goalie, I don't think even in preseason you like to get beat. So, who knows? I don't think Askarov is going to be the problem for the Sharks this year.
No. Or boy, Kevin, you're gonna just hate me for like the first couple of weeks once I get these names right. Nedeljkovic. Look at that.
Yes, Ned.
Ned. Yes, Ned. That's giggity goo. But honestly, I can't wait. But we still have 2 more preseason games to go. We have Friday night against the Vegas Golden Knights, and then finish it up on Saturday night in Salt Lake City, taking on the Utah Mammoth in the newly rechristened Delta Center. Should be fun to get in there. So we'll see
And
how it goes.
just to quickly answer Paul Medina's question, yes. I am currently living over here in North Carolina myself, and I did watch him when he was on the Hurricanes, and I do remember that he wanted to move to Detroit to be closer to family.
Yeah. Alex Nedeljkovic. Should be a good one. I hope. Hopefully they'll shore up the goaltending in San Jose. Obviously, Askarov is likely going to be the number 1 guy, but someone to challenge him a little bit. That's always nice to see.
Well, and Nedeljkovic's career's kind of been a little bit back and forth. When he was on Carolina, he looked really solid as a backup to Mrazek. And then both those goalies have kind of struggled after they've left Carolina and now are both on new teams. So there is the chance that Nedeljkovic has a bounce back and looks like his original form that he had in Carolina. Kind of hoping Mrazek doesn't because he's now on the Blackhawks, but...
Right.
Or no. Sorry, not the Blackhawks. He moved on from them. He's on Anaheim, isn't he?
Wait, which one are you talking?
Peter Mrazek?
Yes, he's with Anaheim now.
Yeah, he's with Anaheim now.
Sorry, it took me for a second. I thought he was murdered by Joe Thornton a few years ago in Carolina.
Oh,
So.
yeah, that did happen, didn't it?
Oh, jeez.
I remember that chalk outline.
Oh. And then wasn't it like a year or 2 or later in the season he actually got injured and then came in David Ayers and
Yes, that would have been the David Ayers season. That is absolutely right.
Yes.
Where we get that absolutely legendary.
I could hear Steve Dangle still saying they lost to a 42-year-old Zamboni driver who works for
That
them.
works for them.
Yes, absolutely. All right. With that, let's get out of here in case you missed anything or you want to watch this again. Check us out on tealtownusa.com or wherever you get your podcast. The audio version will be up in just a jiffy here. Of course, if you're watching us on YouTube right now, we thank you very much for doing that. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. That lets you know when we do go on the air after every single Sharks game, home and away. Don't forget, Pucknologist, I believe, is coming back Sunday night at 6 p.m. as they will preview the season for us. So be on the lookout for that. All right. Tyler, 2 more preseason games to go. Your final thoughts, my friend.
Final thoughts are going to be the Sharks really need to get their defense figured out. They definitely need to get a little bit more of that line cohesion going because we cannot really go into the seasons being this worried about the defense another year.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. As for me, hey, you got some nice showings in the third period. Let's try to calm down the second period collapses, please. That would be greatly appreciated. And getting those lines some chemistry ready to go for opening night here. So, all right.
Celebrini on the ice.
Yes.
In a game.
In a game would be nice. So that'll do it from us. We will be back with you Friday following Sharks and Golden Knights. That's a 7 p.m. start over in T-Mobile Arena. So I don't know if we can confirm nor deny the jerk bump, but let's hope there is one. So for Tyler, I am Eric. Thanks for watching. And until then, keep it real, keep it teal, keep it real, teal. Have a great night, everyone. We will see you Friday night following Sharks and Golden Knights again.